everything, and so I forgot about it. But let me get some housekeeping things done here real quick, and then we'll get started. Just got to get my hands warmed up so I can make them work here. There we go. Hey Valerie, how are you? There's I saw some names and then it went away. Hey Catherine, there's Celissa. That's an interesting name. I haven't seen that one. I like that. So how is everybody? I feel like it's been forever since I've gone live. Like I said, we went live last Tuesday and had a good time, I think. And then my daughter got married this weekend, so you know, getting family all coordinated and all that kind of thing, I just didn't have the opportunity. But here I am back, and we'll be getting back on our schedule, so I'm excited. It feels good to, I mean, it's a beautiful time, gorgeous, gorgeous wedding. I mean, couldn't ask for better, but I'm glad it's behind us. They're on their honeymoon, so how are you guys? Is everybody ready to make some bows? All right, and I tell you what, one of these days I'm going to get this straightened out, but I want to get all the housekeeping out of the way first. But I guess every time I put my link on, it's not worked for the shirt. My shirt is sponsored by Belle Lily, and there is a coupon code and a link that I did put in the comments. Hopefully it works. If you have any problems, just give me a text or a message, and I will help you out. Where'd they go on their honeymoon? They went to St. Lucia's, and the other day when she got there, it was like 13 here, and it was in the 80s down there, so she's enjoying it. So hi Ann, thank you for being here. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I am going to use the Easy Bow Maker today, and I'm planning on making a Mardi Gras bow and a spring bow. And I keep on telling people this on my lives and in my wreath making group. If you are a maker to sell, if you're not making Mardi Gras, you're missing out, you guys. You know, I'm a Yankee. I live in Indiana. We do not celebrate Mardi Gras here, but it's one of my biggest sellers. It really is. And in fact, I think I've sold out of all my Mardi Gras bows and almost all my Mardi Gras wreaths again this season. I want to make some Valentines, but I just haven't had time trying to keep up with the Mardi Gras. So that's what we're going to work on today. And it's going to be kind of a non-traditional Mardi Gras, but it seems like it's popular. I think it has to do with the whole New Orleans colors and such. But anyway, like I said, we're going to work on the Easy Bow Maker. Let me get my camera going here so that you guys can see. I'll have to watch it here. So who out there makes Mardi Gras? Let me know in the comments if you make Mardi Gras items. If you're a seller, of course, if you're just having fun with it and making it for yourself and neighbors, then that's a whole different story. But like I said, if you're a seller, you probably need to be doing it. All right, I'm going to show you. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a non-traditional Mardi Gras bow. Mardi Gras usually is the emerald green, gold, and purple. Okay, and I've been making some of the black and gold, which again I think is more New Orleans based because of the sports team they have down there. I'm not going to say it so I don't get censored, but anyway, I've been having pretty good luck with selling this kind of combination on with the Mardi Gras. But we're going to do black and gold, and this is the, let's see, I got to find one more of my ribbons. This is the ribbons that I'm going to be using, or these are the ribbons I'm going to be using, okay? Actually, I'm not going to use this one. I got to think what I did. I'm trying to make one that's matching the other one that I just did. All right, we're going to use those. And my original thought was, you know, usually I put in a couple of 1.5 inch ribbons also. But the black I had, this is the only black 1.5 inch ribbon I had, and it's pretty matte. And really, I mean, this is going to be like a luxury bow. We're going to use this really gorgeous black and gold velvet ribbon. And so I don't want to cheapen it with putting just a plain black canvas ribbon in here. I mean, I suppose you could. In fact, some of the wreaths that I made in this color, I've used this ribbon, but I'm not going to in this bow. I want the bow to be real lush and expensive looking, okay? As you know, Mardi Gras is all about excess. Now, the same thing, I was going to put in this, one of these gold mesh ribbons. I don't have enough of my gold glittered ribbon, just the pure gold that doesn't have the mesh in it. I was going to put one of those in, but when I got them all together, I felt like it was going to cheapen it. This one here, I mean, this one would probably be the better of the two, and I'm talking about when I'm doing photos, or actually even on this one, when I saw it in person, I thought it kind of cheapened it. But, you know, we've got these ribbons right here that all look very luxurious. When I put this one up to this, it kind of has a honeycomb pattern to it. It just looked cheap, I thought, in comparison, and it really detracted from the gorgeousness of this ribbon, okay? So I changed my mind. I'm not going to use that one either, and I kind of have the same feeling about this. I mean, this one is a little bit better. It's a little bit more of a true, like more of a yellow gold, and it looks a little bit more luxe, okay? But it's still, it really detracts, I think, from that one, okay? Whereas if you look at this ribbon here looks pretty luxe, even though it's not, this one is not an expensive ribbon. This one is. This one is not. And then, you know, I've got another gold here. This does not look cheap when I compare it to these guys, okay? All right. And like I said, this one's the only expensive ribbon out of here. These others are not. They're more budget friendly, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I was also going to put this other 2.5 inch ribbon in here, but I decided not to. So we're going to use 3 2.5 inch ribbons and one, I think it's a 5/8 or a 1/2. It doesn't say. I think it's a 5/8 inch. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on our Easy Bow Maker. If you are a first timer, you know, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. After I get done making the bow, I always go back and I check the questions. If somebody else is in here in the group watching and you know the answer, by all means, please, you know, just go ahead and answer. That's not going to bother me at all, okay? All right, let's go ahead and we're going to start. Now, this is the Easy Bow Maker in case you are not familiar. Great tool. Great tool. Oh, thank you, Ethel May. Thank you. Hey, Jerry. If you have stiff hands, you know, like arthritic hands or something like that, your hands get really painful whenever you're making bows, this is a great tool because this is going to hold your ribbon, okay? The bow is going to be made here. This over here is just going to hold our ribbon spool. And then you can see it has measurements off to the side here where you can kind of gauge how big you're making your loops, or how I also use it to measure my tails, okay? All right, and this one here, this little spool here, I never use this. This is just for when you're making little baby bows, okay? I've never used it, okay? All right, now, whenever you put your ribbon on the spool, it's easiest, not mandatory, but it's easiest, keeps the ribbon out of your way if you put it on with the ribbon coming off and away from you, okay? All right, so we're going to lay this ribbon down. I'm going to have about a 14-inch bow tail, okay? You make sure I'm here even in the even in the camera. All right, and so I've got 8 inches over here. I've got 6 inches over here, so I've got about a 14-inch bow tail. I'm holding my finger here because that's where I'm going to put this. This is going to be the center of the bow. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take this ribbon. I'm going to take the good side. See, it's double-sided. Bad side, good side. I'm going to take it down through our maker with the good side facing away from me. Okay, as I get down to the bottom, I'm going to twist it. Okay, so here's my tail right here. This is going to be our bow loops. Okay, and I'm going to, every time I come back here to the middle, I'm going to push this down so my bow center is good and tight. Okay, all right, I'm going to get plenty of ribbon off. Now, as you can see, we're going to be making our loop here. The reason we twisted this is so the good side of the ribbon is on the right side. Okay, so you don't want this back side showing when you're looking at the bow. Okay. All right, so I'm going to make a little bit over a 5-inch loop. Let's say about, probably between 5.5, 5.25. Okay, so I'm going to take this over here. I'm just going to place my thumb down there and just kind of eyeball it. Over here, again, I've got my thumb marking where I want to put this in this center part. Okay, all right, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to take it down vertically. Good sides facing away. I'm going to twist it. I'm just making a 180 twist. Okay. All right. So there we've got our first loop. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to come back over here. Now I'm just making one loop on either side of this ribbon. So I'm just going to come over here. I do not have to twist it since I'm not going to make another loop. Okay. And I want this good side to be showing when I make a tail. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put my finger about the same place. I've got it up here by the center. My thumb's marking it. All right, now I'm just going to take it. I'm going to pinch it. Okay, lay it down here right in the center. Push it down. I'm going to fluff up my loop. Notice that I'm not fluffing it by pulling on it. I'm bringing my hand on the inside and I'm just taking my fingers and just opening it. Okay. That's the proper way to fluff a bow. Okay. All right, so I've got my first loops done. Okay, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to measure my tail. I'm going to cut it. All right, so we got our first one done, right? We can go ahead and dovetail it. I'll show you how to dovetail on this next ribbon. I forgot to do that whenever I started out. In case you don't know, some people will call it fishtail. Okay, now this one, now I'm going to put this ribbon next. The reason being, when I first started thinking about this ribbon, I was going to put this ribbon next, or this bow, I mean. I was going to put this ribbon next. But I want this beautiful ribbon to be showing, okay? I want this fleur-de-lis. I want that just to be more or less an accent, okay? But I want to be sure that the fleur-de-lis showing, okay? Now you'll notice this is what we call one directional ribbon, meaning that I've got to keep the ribbon going in a certain way for the design to be showing right, not being upside down, okay? So we've got to make our bow just a little bit different with this one. Now this ribbon, I said I was going to tell you how to dovetail, but we can't dovetail this ribbon because it doesn't have a good enough body to it. If I dovetail this, it's just going to collapse on itself. Okay, so all I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a nice neat edge. Okay. And on this particular ribbon, we have to make it, like I said, we have to make it a little bit different so that we can keep the fleur-de-lis going in the right direction. I know it's upside down for you. I'm not smart enough to make this bow upside down so you guys can see it right side up, okay? Or not, I shouldn't say smart enough, I'm not coordinated enough. That's probably the better term. And I just realized I need to put this tail on this side, so I wanted the I wanted my cut to go the other direction. I guess I could go ahead and make this side first. That's all right. We'll just do it that way. Why waste a little more ribbon, right? All right, so I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to measure my tail, okay? Again, this is where my center of my bow is going to go. And I'm basically going to make the bow on the outside of the maker, okay? All I'm doing, I'm just making a loop there, about the same size as my other one. I'm going to pinch this together. I'm going to set it down in there, okay? Whoops. Well, shoot, I just messed that up pulling on that. Let's do that again. That's one thing I wish that on this Easy Bow Maker that it would be a little tighter, where it stays tight. I mean, I just tightened this again right before we went live, and it's just not, they don't stay. You push the ribbon down and they kind of splays apart, but that's all right, I guess. All right, now we're going to come back here and we're going to do the same thing with this bottom loop, okay? We're going to make it on the outside. I'm just going to compare it to my other bow loop I've got right here. I'm going to pinch this. I'm just going to set it down in there, okay? All right, now I'm going to trim this off. I don't want a big tail up on the top, but I do want enough ribbon here to where that I don't have to worry about if I pull on it, I'm going to undo my work. So I'm going to cut it about right there, just so I've got enough of a tail when I tighten this that I've got a little leeway, okay? All right, so there we've got one tail, two loops, okay? I'm looking at, it looks like this one's just a little bit short, so I'm going to raise that. That's one thing I like about the makers, because you can look at your bow while you're making it and see if you like it or not. All right, now, on my tail, if I'm just cutting them on an angle, I like for it to look like a V when you've got the two tails together. So I'm going to cut this one going this way. Okay? All right, now we're going to do the same thing, only it's going to be in reverse. Okay? So I've got my tails down here, okay? All right, I've got my other finger here marking it up by the pegs. I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to bring my loop over here, measure it with my other loop. I'm going to pinch it, set it down in there. Still looking, I feel like my loops are a little bit uneven. There we go. I think that's better. All right, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Going to make a bow loop on the outside of the maker. Bow ribbon's kind of collapsing on itself. That's what I was talking about. The body of this ribbon is not the greatest. Okay, I've got it marked here with my other. I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to just set it down in there. Okay. All right. Now, again, I'm going to trim this off, giving myself enough leeway. I don't want to worry about having to, pulling on this and then pulling it out. Okay. All right. So now we've got our one directional ribbon. I'll turn it around so you can see. So all the fleur-de-lis are going in the right direction now, okay? Now, some people don't worry about that so much. It bugs me to death if I see it. So I've got to fix it, okay? It's one of those things that you can't unsee once you see it. And to me, I'm supposedly a professional at this, and I like for my things to look like a professional, okay? All right, now, like I said, normally I would not put this right up, these two together, or normally I would have put this back here just because of the pattern with the fleur-de-lis, but this is such pretty ribbon, I'm going to put it on top of the fleur-de-lis, okay? All right, now, and you could also do two things here. you could put just one of these ribbons loops on either side, or bow loops. You could just put one on either side, because it is expensive ribbon, to kind of watch your cost, but yet highlight it. Or you could put two. You could put two of them on either side. So just kind of try it out and see what you like. I think the other one I made of this, I put two on either side. I think I'm just going to put one. I kind of like that. All right, now I said I was going to show you how to dovetail if you're not familiar. Okay, we got the wired sides on either side of this ribbon. I'm going to fold the two wires together here. So I'm folded that ribbon in half. I'm going to cut my, take my scissors and cut it at an angle. Now when I open it, it's got a nice clean edge here. Okay, so we just folded it, cut it upward at an angle. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead. Like I said, I think I'm going to make just one loop on either side this time. Okay, and I'm going to measure out my tail. Put this down, good sides facing away. Although even the bad side of this ribbon's gorgeous. It's that shiny gold. Isn't that pretty? All right, push that down in the center. Now we do not have to twist this. We do not have to worry about the direction on this one, okay? Now, I'm going to bring this in just a little bit, probably about an inch. And I'm looking down here at my mat because I can't really see the measurements at this point. I'm looking at my mat for my grid. I'm going to bring it in probably about a half an inch or so that gold will really make this black ribbon pop, okay? And I want this bow loop to go right in between these two. All right, so I'm going to put that about, like I said, about 4.5 inches. We're going to twist it, push it down. And I'm keeping my finger here because, like I said, these are splaying out because I've got such thick ribbon in here. That'll keep it from floating upward. All right, and I'm going to look over here for 4.5 inches again. That's about right in here. Make sure my grid's lined up with my measurements on my board. So that's about 4.5 inches right there. I'm going to pinch it because we don't have to make another loop. Set that down in my spool. Okay. Probably a good thing I did just make one loop on either side. It looks like I ran out of ribbon. All right, now we'll trim this off. Just measuring it with my ribbons, my tail beside it. I'm going to dovetail it. Again, we're going to fold it in half. Cut it at an angle. Okay. All right, now, I typically don't finish up. I wouldn't typically go with like a 2.5 and then a 5" or 5/8 or a 1/2 inch ribbon. But again, I want this to be the star of the show, okay? So I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to put a little tiny accent bow right here in the middle with this gold. I'm going to measure my tail. I want it long enough I can curl it, okay? So I'm bringing it up about that far, probably about 2 inches, 3 inches, okay? I'm going to take this, I'm going to twist it, push it down. Just going to make a real small bow loop, say 3 inches maybe. Okay, I'm going to pinch it and twist it. Bring it over here. I do not have to twist it this time. Look, about 3 inches. I'm going to pinch it. Drop it down in there. All right, get my tail going down. All right, now we're going to trim this off. All right, now to get this off the maker, we're going to take a zip tie, and I'm going to put this zip tie diagonally through these pegs here. Okay, I want this little knob to be facing down toward my feet, and that way it's going to close correctly. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to lift all this ribbon up making sure I've got all the, all the ribbons. I don't want to get this zip tie connected and then realize I left out some of the ribbon, okay? All right, and again, I'm going to bring it over the top here, diagonally through the pegs. I'm going to cinch it down. You can kind of hear it click, okay? Once I've got that done, I'm going to lift this off. Being careful, I'm still holding my ribbon. I'm going to cinch it down just tight enough where my ribbon's not going to fall, okay? All right, so I'm going to just take and get all my tails going down here the right direction. Making sure I don't pull too hard on that fleur-de-lis ribbon, because remember, we've got that is cut. I just got those short tails. All right, let's make sure that we've got these two bow loops straddling our gold, and I want this bow loop in between these two, okay? And then this can just go right in the middle. All right, I'll come over here on the other side. Do the same thing. Again, watching that I don't pull too hard on the fleur-de-lis ribbon. Open that up, put that in the middle. Okay, all right, so I've got everything more or less where I like it. So I'm going to flip this over. And I just noticed I don't have my gold ribbon turned all the way. So I'm going to fix that while I've got it. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take a zip or a pipe cleaner. I'm just going to slide it right underneath of there, because you need to have some way you're going to connect this to either your wreath, your banister, your swag, whatever you're going to connect it to, okay? You could also put a zip tie here, but I'm going to use a pipe cleaner. All right, I'm going to go ahead, cinch that down all the way, okay? All right, flip it over. I'm going to clip off this zip tie. All right, now we still have that zip tie that's exposed. So you can still see the zip tie. So I'm going to take a little bit of this gold ribbon. At this point, if I had any, like a plain black velvet, that'd be really pretty here too. I happen to have a scrap of this gold, so I'm just going to cut this. And since this is 5/8 inch, I'm not going to worry about cutting it in half. If it were wider, I would, so that it would fit down in there the way I want it. I don't want it all smashed and going every which way, but this will fit in there pretty nicely. Now when you do this, make sure you've got your tails all the way you want. You don't want to have one of these tails over here. I say that because I've done that. Okay, let's flip it over. We're just going to tie this, and this just makes it more of a finished look. Now you'll see me when I'm making wreaths, if I make my bow on the Easy Bow Maker, I might omit this step, because a lot of times I'll add something to the center of my bow and you won't see the zip tie anyway. But if I'm making a bow to sell, I certainly will do that, okay? All right, now we need to finish the ends on our little gold ribbon there. And this one I'm not going to dovetail. Let me make sure I've got this up where you can see it. I'm not going to dovetail it because it's just too fine, okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it at that angle with it looking like a V when I put the two together. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, they're both going to upward toward the center. Okay, now I'm just going to curl it. And to do that, all I do is just kind of wrap it around my finger, however you want. Sometimes I'll take it and just kind of kink it like this, just to give it a little bit of movement. But on this one, I wanted to curl it. Okay? All right, so there you have it. Black and gold Mardi Gras bow. Isn't that pretty? I love those colors. Hey, Luz. Sharon, how are you guys? Okay, I'm going to go through and see if I missed any questions. Hey, Rita and Jane. Thank you guys all for being here. I really appreciate it. Hey, Bonnie, Connie. All right, I do not see any questions. Like I said, if you have any, just put it in the comments. And if you're just joining in, if you're on YouTube, just know I do not have YouTube pulled up. I forgot my laptop is on the fritz, and so I'm going to have to do some heavy tech work on it before I go live again for you guys, but I apologize. But if you go ahead and post them in the comments on YouTube, I will go back after the live and answer them. I just can't see them right now. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and let's make a spring ribbon, or I'm sorry, a spring bow. Get these things out of the way. And I know probably people are wondering, do I have any of that ribbon for sale? I do not. When I left the other day for the wedding, I was under the understanding I was going to have a shipment shipping Friday, but when I got back, I saw that it hadn't shipped yet, and when I clarified it today, it still has not shipped. So, there's that. I don't have any new ribbon, unfortunately. But hopefully it's on its way. Next week, we will have new ribbon, by gosh, I'm telling you. All right, so let's make a spring bow. And this one, I wanted something perky and vibrant. And let's see what we're going to do. My inspiration, you know, I always tell you, start with one ribbon that's your inspiration and work your pattern out from there. Match your ribbons out from there, okay? This was my inspiration. Actually, I forgot I had this ribbon. And no, I don't have any of this for sale either. I just had it in my stash. But anyway, I love this. I love the colors. They're just so vibrant and spring-like. And let me go ahead and open it here. It's a 1.5 inch canvas, very good quality, really good quality. It look both when I say it's really good, usually that means that not just the wire is good and strong, but the body of the fabric is really good and strong, and it's really nice. You can stand it up, and it's going to keep its shape. Okay. All right, so anyway, I built out my pattern from this, my ribbons, okay? You see I've got the kind of a lemon yellow. We got the lighter pink. We've got a darker pink or a hot pink. We've got black. We've got 2 different shades of green. So, and we have a little bit of a cream color here too. So we could use any one of those colors, okay? So I just went up to my ribbon stash, and I noticed that I've got this ribbon here that also has the same vibrant colors. Okay, so I've got my 2 1.5 inch ribbons. I'm thinking to myself, I need a solid. If I just keep on with all those patterns, it's going to be pretty busy, right? So I'm needing a solid. I need a 2.5 inch ribbon. So I thought those guys would pair really well together. I wanted another solid to separate these 2 especially. I mean, sometimes I'll put 2 patterns together, but these 2 are pretty busy patterns, and I didn't want them competing against themselves. So I went back and I saw, I've got both this kind of lemon yellow that matches. Yellows are kind of funny to match. I have several other yellows I would have liked to have used, but they were not the right yellow. They were more of a dark, more of a, oh, what do they call that? Like a sunflower yellow, I should say. But this is more of a lemon yellow, okay? Even though this has the polka dots on it, it's still, to me, it reads like a solid, okay? Because the dots are so small. And then I also have this hot pink, the same shade, only we've got it in a 1.5, okay? I could do this. I could do this pattern and just stop with that, okay? Or I could add this one in. I think I'm kind of liking this. It's a lot of more pink than what I want. If I wanted to make it more of a yellow, I could come in here and trade these. Okay, and I could even, if I wanted to, I could finish it up with a pink to kind of carry that pink all the way through. Actually, I kind of like that. I think we're going to do that pattern. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started on this. Okay? All right. Now, this one I'm going to go a little bit faster on. If you are just joining in and you need a slowed down version, you may want to go back and see the other, you know, the bow I made before. This one we're going to go a little faster. Okay? I'll still talk my way through it, but we'll go a little faster. Okay? All right, now, again, I'm going to put my ribbon on with the ribbon's going to come off the spool away from me. Okay? Put that down there. We're going to make the bow right here. And this one I am going to make with tails. Okay? All right. Now, one thing, too, I didn't mention, if I had another 2.5-inch ribbon that I liked, I would have put that with this, but I did not have one. Okay? So, we're going to be doing 1 2.5, and the rest are going to be 1.5s. Okay? All right. Again, I'm going to do about a 14-inch tail. Let me dovetail it first. It's always good to do that first, but I forget a lot, and it doesn't hurt to do it after. Okay, let's put this, you know, this is our 14-inch tail. Get plenty of ribbon off. I'm going to drop that down, good side away, twist, push it down. All right, and I'm going to come over here. This is going to be about a 5-inch loop. Put my thumb about 5 inches. Good side was vertically, good side away from me. Twisted it. Okay. Hold that down. Come over here. I'm just going to make one loop on either side of this one. I'm going to put my thumb over here at 5 inches. I've got my marker here. I'm going to pinch it. Set that down. Open up my loop. All right, my first loop is done. First ribbon is done. Dovetail my end. Boy, these scissors are dull. You have to sharpen those. All right, now my next pattern, this is my inspiration. This is the ribbon I really want to show, so I'm not going to use this one next. I'm going to use my next ribbon's going to be this pattern. Okay, looks like let me pull this off of here. Looks like I've used this to make a bow before, and you'll understand what I mean here in a minute. Hold that off to the side. All right, put that down. Ribbon's getting off and away from me. I'm going to measure my tail. I'm going to bring good sides away from me, twist it. Now this one I'm going to put 2 loops on either side. I want to straddle that hot pink there. Okay, I'm going to make it about the same size as the previous loop. So I'm going to be about 5 inches. All right, I'm going to come down here. Good side's going away, good side away, twist, push it down, repeat, come over here, measure it with my other loop. Good side's going down. Twist, push it down. Okay. Going to make another one on either side. Twist. Now this is our last loop, so we do not have to twist. Okay, I've got it marked here. Pinch it and set it down. All right. Love those colors together. Beautiful. Okay. All right, let's come down here. Let's trim this off. And again, I forgot to dovetail, so I'm going to do that now. I usually, when I'm making a wreath, I do not dovetail or finish the ends until I'm completely done most times. I think that's why I forget all the time to do that here. All right, now, I think I'm going to go with this. No, I'm not. I'm going to go with this one next. I don't want to put those two patterns together. They're much too busy. All right, so let's go with this yellow. I'm going to go ahead and dovetail it. And each time I'm doing a tail, I'm bringing it just a little bit shorter. All right, I'm going to twist, push it down. I'm doing one loop this time, okay? I'm going to bring it in about a ½ an inch or so. So this is going to be about 4½ inches. I'm going to twist it. Last loop, so I don't twist it. I'm going to look for my 4½ down here on my mat. Just kind of eyeball it. Okay, push it down. My tail down there. Okay. Measure my tails. Let's dovetail them. Okay. So now we've got 3 of our ribbons done. Now let's come in with this beauty. Let's go ahead and dovetail it. Measure my tail. Now notice this is not one directional ribbon, so we do not have to do it the way I showed you on the Mardi Gras ribbon. Okay, we can twist that just like this regular ribbon. All right, let's put it down, good side away. We're going to make 2 loops on either side. Again, it's going to be a little bit shorter, and you'll notice I'm kind of layering, kind of like you layer your hair, just so so it looks like there's more. Same thing, and everything's going to be a little bit more visible with the ribbons. Okay, so this one is about, what did we say, 4½. So let's make this about 4½. Can go a little bit smaller if you want to. Over here, compare it to this other one. Twist it, push it down. Compare it, twist it, push it down. No more twisting, last loop. Compare it, pinch it, and push it down. All right, now let's spread out these bow loops. Now, if you wanted to go with a lighter pink, you certainly could have done that too. You could have also used a green, like I said. You could also put a pop of black in there. That'd be pretty. All right, now, let's come over here, cut this. I'm gonna straighten that up. You'll hear me every now and then come back here, or you'll see me every now and then come back here and fuss with these ribbons. And all I'm doing, I'm making sure that my turn is complete. Making sure the ribbon made a completely 180-degree turn. And you can see, like this one here, the loop wasn't lined correctly, and that was because I did not make a complete turn. Okay? All right, let's put that to the side. Now let's finish up with this hot pink. Right here. Hey Nancy and Kathy, thank you guys for being here. Oops, I got it going off the wrong way. Now again, I'm going to follow the same pattern. I'm going to put one loop separating these two, and I'm going to make it somewhat smaller. I just want a little accent color of this pink right here in the middle. Okay. All right, let's push this down. This is going to be about 3 inches or so. Again, I'm looking on my grid down here because I can't really see my marks. Okay, Let's twist it, push it down. Over here, about 3 inches. Right there. We're going to pinch it. See how those ribbons are kind of pushing up? You almost need a third hand. All right, and those don't look even, so I'm going to eyeball it, even them out. Okay, come down here, let's trim this. All right, now we're going to do the same thing with the zip tie. Remember, we're going to go diagonally underneath. I'm going to make sure this knob is pointing down when I put it underneath all this ribbon. Lift it up just kind of gently. Boy, that's a pretty ribbon. Makes you think about sunshine, doesn't it? Now I just got to find some flowers to go with it, right? Actually, I think I have some. All right, let's bring this off gently. Get this out of the way. Cinch it down just tight enough to hold the ribbon. Okay. All right, now let's make sure we've got all of these ribbons going the way you want it to. Remember, I want all of these that are doubles, I want them straddling the single ribbon. Okay. All these double loops. This one's still not wanting to cooperate there. Okay. And like I said, it just showcases each one of these ribbons, and it makes the ribbon or the bow look a little bit more full. Okay. All right, I think that bow loop is a little bit long. Just going to fix it just a bit here. All right, now let's come to the other side here. All right, let's get that pink in the middle. Get all our tails where we want them. Okay, all right, when I'm happy, I'm going to turn this over. We'll get my pipe cleaner. And you may be wondering why I'm using a brown pipe cleaner. I'm doing that because most times I'm going to be using this on a grapevine wreath, and it just lets it blend in a little bit more easily. All right, I'm going to clip this off. And I had this left over that we cut off at first. Remember, this was a 1.5. Actually, it looks kind of short. Well, I guess it's 8 inches. It just looks kind of short. But this was half of this ribbon we had just cut off. Okay, I just cut that straight down the middle, halfway. And I'm going to go ahead and use this to cover up that zip tie. I'm just going to take this now and fold it in half. Make sure that the rough edge or the raw edge is not exposed. Okay. I'm going to cover up that zip tie. Make sure my tails are all going on the right side. I guess it is long enough. I thought it was going to be too short, but if you cut it too short, then it makes it hard to tie. I'm just tying this in a knot right over it. Now we're going to trim it. And I try to go through there and kind of trim off all those fringes there. Make it look a little bit more finished. Okay, now I realize I forgot to dovetail my pink here, so I'm going to do that. Okay. All right, isn't that pretty? Nice spring bow. Okay. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Zuli. Thank you, Zuli. I'm just going to look through now again and see if I missed any questions. Hey, Tammy. Yes, Donna, you're exactly right. You don't have that lemon yellow. You know what? I am ordering, I found I'm going to be ordering some 50-yard roll of some solids, and definitely that yellow is going to be in there. Hot pink, you know, all spring colors. I'm going to try and get some 50-yard rolls of it. But hopefully I'll have it for next week. Hey, Julie. Okay, I do not see any questions, you guys. I'm going to raise you up. And again, if you're on YouTube, no, I'm not ignoring you. I just cannot see your comments. And if you go ahead and put them in the comments on YouTube after the video, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to check them out, okay? All right. All right, anybody else have any questions? Oh, you're welcome, Donna. You're very welcome. I hope that helped. And I'm excited to get started on some spring, you guys. Like I said, I've been doing so much Mardi Gras. I want to be doing some Valentine's. Except the Valentine's ribbon is what I had ordered that's not gotten here yet. So I don't know. I may have to end up canceling it because it's getting toward the end of when we're going to be creating for Valentine's Day, right? So, all right. Anybody else have any other questions? And again, if you're wanting to see where I bought this shirt, or where this shirt is from, I should say, they are sponsoring me actually. I did put a link in the comments. It should be up toward the top. Be sure and use the coupon code and you can get 15% off. And I've had these long enough now. I've washed them, I've dried them, and they do really well. And they're really priced really reasonably. They got some cute things, so check it out. So, okay. All right. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Now, I do want to tell you, too, I forgot, I do have a free course that I've got offered right now. It's free for 1 year. No commitment. It doesn't, you don't then get charged for it later. It's just, that's how long it's going to be posted. It's just a basic wreath course. It's ABCs of wreath making, very general, basic, talks about mesh, talks about ribbons, how to choose items for your design, all that kind of thing. And did I put it, I don't think I put it in the, here, let me post that one too. I think I forgot to put that. There's just too many things. Too many things to remember to get ready to go live. So, I don't know if I can pin that also. It might just let me pin one. No, it's not going to let me. So, but anyway, I put that link in the comments. And again, it's free, no commitment, anything like that. But I know when what I do on Tuesdays, I know I have a lot of experienced people here too that are watching, but it's really targeted for beginner wreath makers. So you might check that out if you're interested. Okay. All right. Any other questions? They're both posted. Okay. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Connie. And for you guys that are in our group, I've been, as I say, StreamYard's been giving me fits too with the tech issues, and I have not heard anything from them. I'm going to try to go live with our wreath critiques. If I can't get it live, then I will record the video and post it in the group. So, but we'll be doing that at 3 o'clock. So, all right, that's all I have for you today. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for being here, and I will catch you next time.